Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive, bringing you guys a brand new Pokemon Sword and Shield video today, and we got ourselves a brand new rumor slash very potential leak, and this one's pretty crazy, man, so get yourselves ready to rock and roll. We're gonna dive into it, break it down, and see what's going on. Obviously, we just had the Pokemon Worlds reveal where they talked a lot about competitive Pokemon. I've got a couple videos about that if you want to hear my thoughts a little bit more in depth there. But this rumor or leak came out on the 8th, which was about a week ago, and it seems to have correctly predicted a very key point of things that were revealed yesterday, and it may give credibility to the rest of what's in the leak. Obviously, this hasn't been confirmed yet, but it does seem pretty promising, so be sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe if you guys are new, and let me know once I finish this video what you guys think about this rumor or leak right now. Do you think it's real? Do you think it's not? So you can see I have this one little section here that is highlighted. We'll talk about everything, but to start, it says, online ranked battles have a new tier system. Each tier is represented by a Pokeball, and you earn things by going up the tiers. And of course, Pokemon's Twitter yesterday announced that there is a tier system for online ranked battles that are represented by different Pokeballs. The beginner tier, the Pokeball tier, the Great Ball tier, the Ultra Ball tier, and the Master Ball tier. Again, this was a week ago that someone has correctly predicted this. Now, is it possible that someone just guessed and got that right? Yes, but it seems pretty likely that this individual had some sort of inside information, put that out there, and maybe the rest of this leak or rumor is true. So let's break it down. So it says that there's going to be a trailer on September 6th, which is going to reveal the starter evolutions, Raboot, Sizzle, and Rhythmape. Now, Raboot and Sizzle were two names that pretty much came from the previous Aflac leak that has been continuously proven true, and we have a lot of reason to believe that Grookey is going to evolve into some sort of music-based gorilla. So Rhythmape is a really good name. I totally believe that that could definitely be the name. And for those who don't believe that Grookey is going to be a music-based kind of chimpanzee ape type thing, its name in French is O-U-I-S Tempo. Oui's Tempo. I don't know how to speak French, but Tempo, which is a music term. So I really do believe that Grookey is going to go that route. It's been a theory for a long time, but the name Rhythmape actually sounds pretty legit. I definitely feel like that could be a thing. The 6th gym is Poison, the 7th gym is Ice, which kind of lines up with the map, and the 8th gym is another version exclusive one that could be Dragon or Steel, but both of them use a Duraludon, and that actually sounds pretty legitimate. We already have a set of gym leaders that are version exclusive. Bee and Alistair, the fighting and ghost type gym, it would make sense for there to be a Dragon and a Steel type gym. Perhaps Sword has Dragon, Steel, Shield has Steel, who knows, but I definitely believe that there's going to be some connection there. The random Godzilla promo that you saw at the press conference was sort of teasing new Gigantamax Pokemon for 4 old mods. Let me give you guys a basic understanding of what happened here. When the original Pokemon Direct came out, where they showed a lot of stuff for Sword and Shield, they talked about Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Home, all that stuff. There was a guy who came on stage, and he took an opportunity to plug the new Godzilla movie, which has nothing to do with Pokemon. Now, there was a kind of a snide comment that was made like, hey, I'm glad he used that opportunity to plug Godzilla, and it was kind of like, wow, dude, I can't believe this guy just plugged Godzilla. And the guy who did that made a comment that he was actually joining like the board or whatever for Pokemon. So it was super duper weird that this guy just comes on stage for a Pokemon Direct and plugs the new Godzilla movie. Now, logically, you take a step back and you're like, this guy is about to get promoted, essentially at his job, to a pretty high position. The guy's already at a really high position. He has no kind of reasoning to promote another game, and he must know that that is not appropriate. But if it was all planned out all along to promote this Godzilla movie, to potentially tease the fact that there's gonna be Gigantamax Godzilla-like Pokemon in the game, it all kind of comes together. I know it's a bit of a far-fetched kind of assumption, but if you take a step back, like I said, and you think about this from like kind of a business corporate perspective, there's no way in heck this dude would go up there and promote another franchise while there's a Pokemon series like convention direct kind of thing going on right there. There's no way in heck they would promote another franchise that has nothing to do with Pokemon unless it was a teaser for something moving forward. And I'm on board with this, man. I definitely feel when you put all these pieces together, there's a lot of chance that this ends up being real. Tyranitar is gonna be Godzilla, Volcarona is gonna be Mothra, Aerodactyl is gonna be Rodan, and Hydreigon is gonna be King Ghidorah. So you've got these various Gigantamax Pokemon. We've actually already seen Hydreigon, Tyranitar. I don't know if we've seen Aerodactyl or Volcarona in the game, but those are very likely that they can get Gigantamax forms that are representative of these various Titans, essentially, from Godzilla. So that is super duper cool. I actually believe it. I think there's a lot of possibility that ends up coming true. Other Galar forms in the game are the Hoppip line, which become Ghost and Flying. Let me tell you, Jump Left would really appreciate a different type change and perhaps some, maybe some a new ability. It's got some pretty interesting stats, relatively fast. It can do a couple cool things, but its typing is really bad. So switching to Ghost and Flying, which is what Drifblim has, could end up being really advantageous. The Spoink line becomes Psychic and Ground, which is a pretty cool typing, especially if it ends up getting like some pretty cool stuff like Calm Mind, Psyshock, Earth Power. That could be kind of neat. Again, when it comes to Galarian forms, I feel like the abilities are really what's going to make a big difference, as we saw with Weezing. And then Ursaring, which I think becomes Dark. So a little bit of lack of clarity there about Ursaring, but pretty interesting that they call out those particular Pokemon. Hoppip, Spoink, and Ursaring. I think that's very interesting. Surfetch is a regional evolution to Galar. It's fighting type, and it uses its leak as a baton. The previous Ben Affleck leak mentioned that Farfetch is going to get a regional evolution called Surfetch. This ties directly into that. I think it's very plausible that it becomes fighting type. I think that's been kind of a fan theory for a really long time, that Farfetch would eventually evolve and become fighting type, so that sounds pretty legitimate. Galar forms are exclusive to the first 3 gens this time. Pretty safe prediction. Spoink, Hoppip, those are Gen 3, Gen 2. Ursaring's Gen 2. Linoon was Gen 3, obviously, and then Weezing is Gen 1. So putting it in those makes sense, especially since we have Diamond, Pearl, Platinum remakes looming in the future, whether that's 2020, 2021, whatever it is. Diamond, Pearl, Platinum remakes are looming, and there's a chance that they kind of use some of those forms or come up with new forms in the future. And again, this main point here, the online ranked battles have a tier system. We already kind of talked about that. Squovet is a squirrel that uses a berry gimmick like Crabrawler, but it evolves into the steel type Greedent. So a Greed Nut, which is interesting because we've been calling it Greedent, but it's actually apparently Greed Nut, which kind of, I guess, actually makes more sense because it's like greedy with like different acorns and stuff. I don't know, just whatever. But anyway, Squovet is apparently a squirrel. We get a little insight that it could become a steel type. We had some kind of reason to believe that this little guy from the Affleck leak had something to do with berry trees and stuff like that. Wooloo evolves into a wolf-looking sheep called Wolven. I will say the Wolven rumor and theory has been passed around many, many times in the Pokemon fandom as of late. This idea of a wolf in sheep's clothing. It is possible that that's what it ends up being. A lot of people have kind of speculated that, so that could be actually really cool. There is a Wendigo Pokemon called... what is it called? Larantler. I have to Google what a Wendigo is. Wendigo. It is, oh my god, this thing is nuts, dude. Okay, so just to give you guys an idea of what this thing is, it is a really crazy looking like monster, like kind of like almost like a werewolf, but like with antlers and stuff. I gotta show you guys a picture of this. Hold on, because I actually didn't even know what this was. I'm not all the way caught up on my mythical creature lore here. I hope this thing isn't real because that's super duper sketchy. Let me show you what this looks like. So this is kind of what a Wendigo is. A Wendigo? I don't know how do you even say that, but it's this crazy looking kind of werewolfy deer kind of thing going on there. So that's what that looks like. So that's going to be in the game apparently called Larantler. It's a humanoid deer ghost which uses its antlers to attack, and it's dark type. That sounds pretty cool. I mean, that's a really cool idea. Another Pokemon is a cute little ghost that tries to hide itself by possessing scrap metal. It gets attached to the junk it possesses, so when it evolves and the scrap breaks apart, it becomes furious. Both are ghost steel. That's a really cool idea for a Pokemon. I think that could be legitimate. And then Leon's big thing is he wants to be as famous as possible, which is why he has so many sponsors and uses Charizard. So we know that Leon's coat has just a ton of sponsors on it. We know he's got Charizard, which is one of the most popular Pokemon in the Pokemon universe. So this guy's out here and he's trying to be the #1, man. He's trying to be the ninja of the Pokemon world, you know? It doesn't go well with him when you beat him. A casual match, and you have about 7 badges. I guess you get to battle Leon, you beat him. So he wants to be so popular. He's like, yo, I'm gonna go get the legendary Eternatus, and then he fails trying to get this crazy legendary. He puts the Galar region in danger, and then you have to use the Zacian or Zamazenta of your game to stop Leon in his tracks and his Eternatus. This is wild, dude. September 6th is a couple weeks away, so we're still a few weeks away. Perhaps there's something new in the meantime. I know we got Gamescom coming up. There's a couple different conventions that could reveal some information, but it wouldn't be out of the question for September 6th to be the next big reveal, especially if they reveal starter evolutions, they reveal some gym leaders, they reveal some Gigantamax forms, they reveal some different Galar forms. I mean, this would be a massive direct here. So I passed the question to you guys. Do you think this is real? Obviously, this person either correctly guessed or knew about this rank system ahead of time. That could add legitimacy to the rest of this rumor slash leak here. It's pretty crazy. I think everything in here does sound like it could be real, and I think back to that Godzilla situation at the press conference. So I remember sitting there and I was like, there's no way that this dude who's about to get promoted to the board spot is gonna just plug another company during this press conference about Pokemon. It just doesn't make sense. There's no way this guy is that dumb that he would think that that's acceptable. It had to have been scripted, it had to have been planned, it had to have been a teaser for the Gigantamax Pokemon, Tyranitar, Volcarona, Aerodactyl, and Hydreigon, dude. Like, I really feel like there's a good chance that that's the case. I don't know, man. I'm blown away. Let me know your thoughts. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you guys are new. Give me those thoughts in the comment section below, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.